And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Proficiency Bonus for another Monday night here at We Met in a Tavern. Before we jump over, a couple of quick shout-outs go out for everyone. Big thank you to Streamlabs, Twitch, OBS, Team MZ, friends over at Many Sided Dice, and our... I can't keep calling them our new friends, so I'm going to call them our best friends up at Little Dragon Corp up in Canada. So if you're in the Twitch chat, ! Little Dragon will give you the information for their website. Check them out. They do all sorts of dice and tabletop accessories for all your TTRPG needs. Also, don't forget, if you do decide to pick something up from them, use the discount code BONUS, BONUS at checkout, and you'll save 10% off. So definitely check them out. A lot of great stuff. Blew their Kickstarter out of the water. So we're looking forward to seeing that start making its way into the storefront as well. If you didn't, if you haven't been here before and didn't know about that beforehand. So with that, what we will do is jump on over to our party. Oh, that's right. I forgot to fix one of the cameras on this screen. I apologize. Give me just a second here. That's where you're going to very slowly teleport Sweet William back up to where he belongs and get Artemis back on this screen. You know how long it took me to get that lined up? And whoof! Okay, so now that everyone's back where they belong, we will jump into what happened last time. As our party had made their way along the... after getting some information, decided to head out, take a look, and see if they could find this Jokaser. As they went out and started running into these rather large, fairly easygoing turtles, only to find out that there was a bigger one that they called the Old One, living somewhere down in the deep. They convinced it to go down and bring the Old One up to them. After a somewhat odd conversation with it, they realized that this was not the creature that was causing the problems. Thank you for that. Yes, you are. That's what I've been listening to for the last 3 minutes, so be thankful.
I don't know if I got that in, if I got unmuted or not.
I don't think so.
Thank you, Michael.
Welcome to the game, everyone.
So as after the conversation, they went back to the ship, had a conversation with Captain Purcellin, and it was decided at Sweet William's sort of balking a little bit as the idea of the adventure, and ended with a toss of a coin to board the skiff that had been loaded with fish and the bottom painted with fish guts, and sail into the mouth of this massive being to try to resolve whatever issue is causing its discomfort, that is causing it to attack and swallow things. So
Gosh, you missed one session and you're going into a whale. Let that be a lesson.
Lord Jabu Jabu in this bitch.
So with that,
I didn't know what your character would feel about this. I tried to embrace his spirit of adventure and said that Sweet William would be all about it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
okay,
On a less wholesome note, I figure Sweet William's all about, like, he'll get up inside anything.
Ooh,
Let's figure
no,
out a
you're
new
not
fetish.
wrong.
You're not wrong.
So as right now our party is currently back on the boat. They're getting prepared, getting their stuff together to go back into the skiff and start heading back over. As the group of you look once more out towards this massive creature, and you can see this, what looks to be a massive cave opening facing towards you, that all of you now are fully aware is in fact its mouth. Don't forget from last time, we have Snow Moon and Furia have nat 20s this evening. So don't forget to use them, because they will not be rolling over again for you guys.
Oh gosh, so we're going into its mouth right now?
Oh, right now you guys are still
Yes,
back on the ship.
we're-
It was decided the captain didn't want to take the actual full ship in, even though Bitter Jack had checked out the sighting. Is pretty sure the ship could make it in. Captain still doesn't really want to risk her boat.
Yeah, we should take the sloop in.
There was some discussion about trying to mount one of the ballistas on the sloop.
I think it would sink.
No, it's fine.
And we have no idea what we're going into, and we're not killing the turtles.
No,
So why
I'm
not?
adamantly. No, I am adamantly against you killing the turtles. No, that's British. Christ. No.
Lydia, you sound so educated this week. Yeah. Perhaps not kill the turtle, but whatever is large enough to make this sick. Perhaps is large enough that ballista is a good idea to have.
Yes, we still have no idea what we're going up against inside.
I
so-
really. Are the ballistas movable even?
Also, we might lose this boat or leave it behind at some point. Do we really want to risk losing a whole ballista?
The captain probably wouldn't like that actually. Losing a whole ballista, I mean, that's a lot of coin.
And I really don't want to be lugging around a ballista. We might have to climb things, squeeze through holes. You never know what's inside that thing.
I also don't think it'll stay the course on the skiff. I think the skiff might be too small for it.
Jack just sort of shrugs and backs off. But she turns to William and she says, in their language, she says, if we go in there and we need a ballista for something, I told all of them. We will remember this now, please.
I reply back, oh, don't worry, I'm sure you could just point your fancy gun at anything we need to go boom.
She like looks at the pistol in her holster. She looks at the enormous like deck-mounted projectile launcher. And is, we are going to die. Okay, I will prepare. Tell me when we are ready. And she just like wanders away from the group.
It's still. Is it like lunchtime by now? I know we left pretty early in the morning.
Yeah, at this point it's probably just after lunch because it took you a couple of hours to sail there. You went out, you had the conversation, had to row back. Had the conversation, you've started prepping things, so it's probably give or take just after lunch.
Well, I'm ready to leave whenever.
If we're not taking a ballista, it seems like there's no more preparations left to do. We might as well get on with it.
Before we begin, I have to call out the pirate booty tab and that picture of Fabio on it. Whoever did that, I'm coming for you.
Let's just say I don't know which one of you did it. That inspired a lot of my encounter building this evening. So remember that. Whatever happens, I didn't see it until I logged on a little while ago. So whoever did that, know that whatever happens, it's your fault.
What does
Oh,
35
just
gold per mail mean?
Well, we sold the mail armor from the one
Oh, plate mail.
hobgoblin. Yeah.
I have the gold from our first session here. If we want to, am I actually able to edit this?
Yeah, everyone should
Oh.
have access to it.
Well, I'll just do
It
that.
was
myself.
originally called
Plate armor.
Loot. Somebody changed it up and put that on there. And yes, actually, you know what? Twitch chat, because this is going to end up happening, I'm going to jump you over to a different spot. So that is what they did to our lovely little loot thing. And then-
Beautiful.
I don't know what it looks like.
Oops. Hold on, I have to switch from minute 20s. Sorry, folks, just Justin, so our net 20 show up for our players. Okay.
In the meantime, while everybody's kind of just getting stuff ready, Artemis would be like shuffling books and notebooks about, leaving most of their like backpack of stuff on the boat, like not on the skiff, like.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, so anyone else got anything that they'd be prepping before you all depart?
Nope.
My
Let's see.
are my barrels, my rope barrels, still in the skiff from before? They are, right?
Yep. Well, you've got them prepped. I don't know if you took them on the skiff. I thought you had left them with the ballistas. Oh wait, no, that's right. You took them with you.
The whole intention was to use them to catch a.
Yeah, to
catch a
use them to
turtle.
throw around. I remember now. Yeah, my head went back to Jaws mode. Shoot it into it. Yeah, so they'd still be there.
I can't think of anything. Jack is crabby about getting outvoted on the ballista thing, but I can't think of anything else that she would like think to grab.
She'll just have an awesome "I told you so" moment later. That's all.
I can't
wait.
wait.
Okay. So, and actually, before I jump you guys over to another screen, I am going to toss something out on here in the middle so that you and our viewers at home can see it. Oh wait, I am on GM mode, so you guys can't see that. So a second, let me put it. No, not map. Tokens. For you guys who hadn't noticed yet, there are completed
They're so great.
tokens, and don't worry, I'm going to zoom in on each one.
Yay!
Trojans.
For our
Trojans?
party, completed
Trojans.
by our very own Artemis. So we have Bitter Jack popping up,
Hells yeah.
and we have Furia, Lydia,
Oh my god, I love Lydia so much.
I love her too.
and we have Snow Moon, and Sweet William,
Oh, I like the hearts.
and last but not least, our artiste, Artemis.
Yay!
Obnoxious hair.
It's so good. I love the pattern on the hood or the handkerchief
Yeah.
there. It's really something. I like it a lot.
So,
That's
big thank you,
amazing.
Para, for doing that for
Oh
us.
gosh.
So good. So flipping good.
Is it weird to have feelings for a group of pictures of imaginary people? I have,
so.
I have things happening in the deep parts of my heart for these characters.
No one die.
I know. Someone
And with
when
that,
do I get spare the dying?
Fingers crossed.
and with that is you guys start to get loaded up into your into the skiff, lowered back down into the water, and again start rowing. Again, you notice the same things you noticed last time. There are a few fewer shark fins now than there were initially. Given that, right, I forgot. Then you weren't here. The decision was made to sort of chum and paint the bottom of this longboat with chum.
That's why
So-
it smells like this.
No, then they dumped 2 barrels of fish on top of everybody in the boat, so they could sort of be basically chumming the water so they get closer to draw the turtles up and bring them closer.
Welcome to Campaign 2, everyone. If you were wondering if we're any better at making plans this season, we're not.
We're quite
We're also
literally
just as
bait.
dirty.
So with that, we are going. Actually, I'm going to. I need a random token so we can get some light going on over here. So let me just go. Big. Okay, you'll do. Give me a second. Please ignore when you see this next map the massive explosion that's going to be behind you guys. I just need something to generate light from where you're coming from. And you know, what better to generate light than a massive fireball, right?
I think that's the way we enter all scenarios. It's explosions. Which we don't look at. Group rule. No one looks at the explosion.
No, we walk away and
Just walk away slowly. Sunglasses.
There we are. Okay, so with that, I will shift you guys over to a different map. And you will find yourselves, hopefully you have visibility. I think I got all your tokens set up properly. Right over here.
Oh boy.
I was like, I just see a big picture of Artemis's head still. I didn't realize I could get rid of it myself.
Yeah. I did that for a little bit too, so.
So as you start, again, I'm assuming it's same as last time with Snow Moon and Lydia handling the oars.
Yeah.
So as if two of you start rowing ever closer, again, you do notice that a couple of the sharks sort of follow a little bit behind you. But you
Fury
notice
would be almost leaning out of the boat, trying to get a look at the sharks.
Go ahead and make a
what
perception
sort
check.
of sharks are those? Sorry, Furia, what sort of sharks are those?
That's a 12.
Oh, okay. So you don't really see a whole lot from trying to look at them. All you can really tell from this angle is it's very obvious from the dorsal fin coming out. And they do seem to be at least two of them sort of pacing. So they don't seem to be approaching, just, following nice and calm behind.
If they get too close to the skiff, Jack is going to take a shot at any approaching sharkage.
I don't know, William, but they're really cool. Don't you just love sharks?
Oh, did someone say sharks? Where are they?
Right there.
Generally, Furia, sharks are not to be trusted because they will eat you. Or parts of you, rather. They're very fond of meat.
So are many things.
Jackie, remember when we made those lovers walk the plank in shark-infested waters?
I do not wish to repeat the performance. Generally, they leave you alone. They prefer. What is she asks William for the word for seals in common.
For easier prey.
Seal.
They prefer seal, but they take a test bite and you still die. And we have put guts on the bottom of the boat.
Everybody keep your arms and legs inside of the boat? No?
Like a carnival ride. Yes.
About the time you guys start getting a little closer to this massive opening. And as you're getting close, you can see that what appear to be large, they look almost just like boulders at the top of this thing. It doesn't look like it's a guess I'll phrase it doesn't look like it's really a flesh eater. Like those of you who've seen wild animals, sharks, bears, things with jagged, sharp teeth. This thing looks almost like whatever it's eating, it is just crushing with these and just grinding. I think from what you've heard, and that it's been eating boats and whatnot, it's probably how it gets most of it down, is just grinding and down to small enough pieces.
I do this again. I put one hand up and measure the width of the crushing molars, and I look at the boat, and I say, perhaps a little faster.
Enough as you guys start making your way in. You do have some light coming in from outside, but you notice as you get probably about 50 or 60 feet past the opening, it starts to get real dark for most of you. I think there's only two of you who have dark vision.
Do halflings have dark vision?
Halflings I know don't, because I played one.
No.
I don't think furbolgs do.
Nope.
Maddie, did Dragonborn have dark vision?
No, I do not.
I think in our party, only the gnome has dark vision.
No,
I do
half
know.
elves do. I think.
Yeah, half elves do.
I'm a wood elf.
Wood elf.
Oh, what else?
I forgot you were
There's a difference.
Once you cast,
There is a
No,
difference.
I just.
I
once you
can
cast
see
light-
everything.
That's good. I want to cast light on the bow of the ship.
Oh, okay. So then we will, come on. Really, you're not gonna...
I should really look up nautical terms.
Fine, stop. Oh, no, don't. You weren't grouped in the first place, you silly git. Turn off the drawing. There we go.
You really can't see? It's not that dark in here, is it?
It's kind of dark.
I can see in here.
Wait. Furia, tell me what you see with your elven eyes.
Okay, I'm jumping in the water now. I don't want to be part of this party anymore.
You see a shark swim a little
I
closer.
was gonna say, I think those sharks got swallowed up with us. So.
Jack gets eaten by a shark, and I come back playing a character who can put up with this bullshit.
That's like quite a way to retire your character.
It's only the 4th episode.
Come on, Tara just finished the artwork for you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sorry about that. You're gonna have to draw my new character.
Yeah, okay.
His name's Stumpy. He looks like Danny DeVito. And
This is my new character, Boblin the Goblin.
that's right.
So, Furia and...
Are there
Artemis,
lamps on the deck of this skiff that we can light?
Sure, why not?
I assume so, right? Deck lamps.
Sure.
Light up a couple of them bad boys.
There are now. So you've got, you guys are starting to light these on the sides. Lydia's cast light right on the front point of the boat. So you guys have a pretty good view coming out and coming into this. As you get, again, give or take about, with the light on, it still disappears off into the distance a little bit. As you guys continue to row forward, Fury and Artemis, you both notice a little bit of a, almost, think like Disney ride, sort of like a 20 or 30 foot drop coming up. As you're looking
I've
around,
seen
you notice
Finding
a
Nemo.
little,
I know what's up.
Are there electronic pirates or woodland creatures in Araneas?
We
as
found the
you
jet
do
stream
see a
and
small
stuff.
little hanging punching bag.
We all
Up in
punch
the
it
air,
as
so-
we go by.
Nope. Don't do that.
That's a little high. You'd have to make one heck of an athletics check to reach up there.
Jack points her gun at it.
That just heckin'
Nope.
shoot.
No. Let's attempt to not derail the entire episode.
New character Stumpy coming next episode.
That's yep.
New characters is one gunshot.
I'm the trash man. I get in the boat and I throw trash everywhere.
Oh,
Guys.
boy. Okay.
We are
I'm
going to
sorry.
want to hold on to something very soon, and you're going to want to hold on very hard.
Yes, it looks like we're about to go down a little bit.
I grab Viria's hand. I'm like, okay, I've got you.
No, the boat. I mean the boat. Hold on to the
Oh,
boat.
hold on to the boat. Okay. I hold on to the side of the boat.
So as you start getting closer, from behind you, you can hear almost a rumble. And as the two of you hear it and start looking around, you notice that the head is starting to raise.
Uh-oh.
And the
I will hold
water
on
is
to
starting to
something.
rush down towards that opening faster.
So any second thoughts, anybody? Because I think the window's closing. Fast.
That we could row ourselves out of here.
Yes, I think it's too late for that now. Just brace yourselves.
Okay.
And with that, as the head leans back, again, you get a much better view as the light. And actually, let me grab this for a second. Pull you a little forward. And this was really supposed to start revealing if it was doing its job right, but it's not. So, thanks, Roll20. He's going to grab, and we're just going to plow you in and see if this works for me. Can you all see, or did you just vanish?
I can see
I-
my token.
I can see my token.
It's just black. Oh yeah, because I can't actually see. So.
Well, no, because there's light coming in a little ways.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
Now I see.
There
There we
Lava.
go. Oh, hmm.
Oh,
Is that like,
Tongue.
Gross.
or like
So
the
that is
inside of the mouth or something?
that is esophagus.
Okay.
Ew, it looks
As
like
you guys are
Reminds
starting
me-
to.
Of Lord Jabu Jabu.
I was about to say, like, yeah, like the texture.
As the head leans back and you start almost, it starts out a nice easy grade. As the head keeps leaning back, you start traveling faster and faster down. Go ahead. I want everyone to go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Ooh, hell yeah! 3. Test 6, I guess, total.
Okay, well, I actually forgot to get my dice, so I'm just gonna use
Yeah,
this
that's
one
why
that's
I
on the
just
table
rolled
for
right
right now. So I'm gonna use this.
I need to go get mine too. I forgot.
I
21.
rolled a 17.
Oh, okay.
21.
Ooh.
12.
Okay. So everyone except for the siblings, as this starts to tip and fall, as you're sliding down this thing's throat, you're noticing that embedded in the walls of this thing's throat, you can see there are partial masts of ships, oars. You can see what look to be almost like either very heavy crossbow or ballista bolts with ropes tied to it. It looks like people have tried. You're not sure whether to climb out or to stop their descent. But there are all manner of things just embedded within the throat of this.
How is this like? Is this like an appropriate time for conversation, or are we like holding on as we rocket down this ledge?
At this point, you're
Well,
only.
that's encouraging.
You're not even necessarily. I won't even call it Splash Mountain yet. You're probably down at an angle
Okay.
like this, so it's picking up speed, and the head is still pulling up. So you've probably got a couple of moments before you are borderline free fall.
Well, so then in their language to William, Jack says, all of this carnage and this is not even what is bothering it? How are we to do anything?
Just hang on, Jackie.
Going to die surrounded by idiots. Braces for impact.
Okay, so
Artemis is just laughing the whole way down.
Barry wants to yell, but thinks that opening her mouth might get something in it, so she's keeping it closed.
So as you continue, as the head goes up, at this point you are now almost like this is Splash Mountain level, incline. And you can see rapidly approaching, it seems like the esophagus is turning down in front of you. Want everyone, go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw. As you are coming
Okay, here we go,
sliding
boy.
down and
14 for me.
oh, okay.
13 for me.
Always a big oof.
22!
Nice!
What did you say, Sarah?
4.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Holy Mary, Mother of God!
So
13.
as you come down and you get to that corner again, just surrounded seawater, everything else, both Sweet William and Lydia, as the sieve comes up, rides up the side of the wall, and then starts to settle, both of you topple out.
Oh shit.
And are now just in the water, besides still sliding down.
Oh no!
I would like to immediately begin retrieving the lasso end of one of my barrel trap things
Oh, okay.
and throw it out to them.
Okay. So, oh, no, I did not want to grab everybody. I just wanted to grab 2 at the moment.
How many were of those barrel traps were there?
I think I have 2.
Oh.
So I guess I'll see Bitterjack doing this, and I'll try to do the same with the second one.
Okay. Go ahead and... We'll say, while you guys are throwing these, I'll say go ahead and make dexterity checks.
Okay.
Just a straight dex check.
Yep, just straight dex.
Okay. 19.
Oh, okay, that's easily good enough. You managed to get it looped around your brother.
And I got an 18.
Oh, okay. Yep, so you managed to loop it around Lydia as well. So now the two of you, are you just basically dragging them along, holding on, or are you trying to pull them in too?
She'd have both of her feet like planted on the side of the side of the skiff, and she's like hand over hand trying to reel him back in.
Oh, okay. Sweet William, go ahead and make an athletics check to climb back into the boat. You do have advantage on it because your sister is basically towing you in.
Let's everybody get ready to press F.
Yeah.
There easy enough. It seems like your sister has no problem pulling you right back up into this.
Grabs him by the back of the coat.
Yeah, I'll try to do the best I can to get Lydia back on board too.
Oh, okay, so Lydia, go ahead. Same thing. Make an athletics check. You have advantage as well.
Yes. Athletics, I got some in. Nope, not that one. 16.
Okay, takes you a little bit longer. It's a little harder for Snow when you're a much larger entity than Sweet William is.
Yeah.
It takes a couple of minutes, but he manages to get you back in there. As you guys are continuing down now around this corner, you can now hear what sounds to be the sounds of battle. You're hearing crashes. You're hearing things you would not expect to be hearing from within something.
Can we make a check to see if we recognize it or know what it is?
Sure, go ahead and anyone who wants to can make an intelligence, or I'll say you can make a nature check if you want, given you're inside an animal.
Intelligence. Well, I rolled a 5, so I don't think it matters what my intelligence modifier is. 'cause
I
I'm not
rolled
gonna know.
a nat 1.
Oh, I rolled an 11.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Okay.
Dominoes.
So, Art, you are the only one who really starts to pick up on this at first. Is you can hear shouting coming from the distance. You can hear some splashing, and that you're not sure is thing is actively swallowing right now, so you don't know if it's falling into liquid or if it's part of the battle. But you can definitely hear shouting. I don't think Art speaks Aquan,
No.
so you don't recognize what's being said. But you definitely do hear a lot of commotion coming. As
Never even heard of that language.
Mermaids, man.
as it keeps going down, you guys see another bank coming up where it looks like it's turning again and dropping further down. I want everyone to go ahead and make another dexterity save.
Oh gosh.
17.
Okay.
I rolled a 14.
Also a 17 for me.
Okay.
A 17 for me as well.
Wow.
Wow.
And
11.
okay, so as you guys make that make this corner, everyone seems to manage to sort of hold on.
Oh, great.
And as you notice, as it banks around and turns, in front of you, disappearing into darkness, you see a large, just gaping hole.
Oh, crap.
Nerd.
Merde.
Nerd.
Like, so those of us with, I mean, like, even with the light and dark vision, we can't.
No, it's
Anything.
literally, it's dropping. As you guys are speeding towards it, it's just black. As you're getting close, you can see, like, the lip of it. It looks like a... oh, I'll use a medically accurate term, even though I know the reaction it'll get. It looks like a sphincter.
Oh, hell
I knew that's where it was going, and yet it feels different when I hear it.
If anyone wants to make
Okay.
a medicine or intelligence check, if they feel they need to, or that they may not be sure what's about to end up happening.
Oh,
Merde.
great.
Cascade! Hold on!
Oh dear.
Boy. Twitch chat doesn't have access to our private Discord.
Possibly for the best right now. Okay. So,
God damn it.
You're all welcome alive.
Uh,
I can't unsee that now.
how fast he found it is.
Yeah, you had that ready.
My Jeff searching skills are unrivaled.
Oh boy.
As you come rocketing down towards it, you watch as it just...
I don't know what I'm feeling right now.
You watch as the opens and just gallons upon gallons of seawater, as well as the group of you and your boat, drop in
Oh.
and start free falling.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh boy.
So I need all of you to make one last dexterity save for me as the boat starts to plummet.
Oh, 3.
I would like to wait.
I will use my. No, I already rolled. So.
Hold on. I would know what the spell did. Let me see. Oh, from me. Ah. Okay.
I got a
never mind.
14.
Another 17 for me.
Okay.
11.
Okay, and Artemis?
3.
Join me. Join me.
Okay. So, and Lydia, what was yours, you said?
11.
11. Okay, so, and Furia?
14.
14. Okay, so everyone except for the siblings this time
Oh.
gets ejected from the boat as it starts to free fall.
Oh.
So, for Furia, Lydia, Snowmoon, and Artemis, I want you all to roll a d8 for me.
Is Lydia still attached to a rope that is currently attached to a thing that is still in the boat, or did those barrels go like out as well when it went over?
Do me a favor, Matt. Roll a d20. Odd they're in the boat, even they're out.
Okay, I rolled a 17.
I'm getting
Okay.
new.
Bye. Bye, barrels. William, you should cut that rope off yourself real fast.
I do so. Bye.
Okay, so as this comes crashing down, and we will reveal this in just a moment once we find out where our party ends up. Okay.
I rolled a 5, by the way.
I rolled a 3
So,
again.
give me a second. Okay,
I
so.
rolled a 2.
So.
I don't know if that's good or not.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Okay, so. Snowman, you said you rolled a 3?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll put you up. Okay, Furia, you said a 2?
Yep.
Okay. Lydia, what about you?
6.
And Artemis?
5.
Okay. Okay. So with that being said, okay, where's my reveal? There we go.
I really like the new update to the Roll20 map thing that you can now click and drag and move.
Yeah.
I cannot see anything.
Okay, so give me a second, I got a large area to reveal to you guys. Okay. So as you come plummeting down and landing into the water, Jack and William, you two are for the most part fine. You're a little shaken up, laying disheveled at the bottom of the boat, but for the most part, you look around. The barrels are missing. You can see those floating off in the water a little ways. I don't have a barrel handy, so we'll just grab one.
The party is missing.
Yeah, as you look around, you don't have any of your party members at the moment, but you can start to see them popping up out of the water.
Alright.
You've got a couple of barrels floating in this water too. And as you're looking, specific to Sweet William and Bitter Jack, you guys are still on the boat. As you're looking, you can see that this isn't just seawater. You can see sort of this heavier greenish sort of, basically what you're assuming to be stomach acid. You can see various different points where there are just broken ships and bits of sail, bodies that you can see a couple of what look to be oversized crocodile bodies that are mostly bone but are still being dissolved right now.
Great.
As this happens and you start to notice your party members are popping up out of this liquid as they have just landed in it.
Well, look who's fish food now.
I'm not sure we deserve that.
We're still in his stomach.
You also can see what appear to be rather strange looking
Eldritch
basically-
horrors.
fish humanoids. And this is what you see.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
is-
real lookers, those
Wow, that
ones.
is a tiny pop-up. Everything else popped up huge. That thing's just like... Oh, yeah, sorry, Twitch stats not bigger for you. As you're looking, they seem to be carrying almost like very sort of simplistic-looking spears. But you can see what appear to be almost like huts. And roughly construed buildings of some sort.
Oh dear.
You also see in front of those a larger, almost cylindrical looking building. And that where you are all down here now, all of you are hearing these sounds coming from within it. And you can see these creatures have their spears out and are looking down at the water. They're not even really acknowledging the building.
So is this blue line that you have drawn here, is that like a demarcation of where like dry land is?
Thank you. Yes. So I tried finding ways to like put liquid in with how I ended up designing the map. It kept looking horrible to me, so I just drew a line. So everything to the basically northwest of that line or towards the boat side is liquid and stomach acid. In that corner where you can see the house and the people standing, that is, well, what passes for dry land in this stomach currently.
Do they notice us?
You can see a couple of them are looking out towards you.
Do they look hostile?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Oh dear. I'm not good at insight.
You're a cleric, you're wisdom based.
I know. 18.
Huh?
18.
That thing looks horrifying.
Yes, it
Never
does.
seen something that looks like it before. It doesn't look like it's outwardly aggressive towards you, but at the same point, there hasn't been any interaction. You just get dumped in here, so you get the impression it's more waiting to see what happens.
Alright, how deep is the water?
You were able to land in it and not hit the bottom, so
Alright.
you're pretty sure it goes down a little ways.
Are they like slightly burning right now?
Not as of yet. For mechanically speaking, it's not literal acid, so it's not.
Oh, okay.
They're not taking damage immediately, but it is. If you were to stay in it for an extended period of time, then yeah, it's going to start dissolving your clothes, your flesh. It's.
Are the oars still attached to the skiff?
Yes.
Lose those. Okay. Jack will try and maneuver one of those sort of in the direction of where she can see what is that, Furia and Snow Moon there on the north part of the side of the boat. She's gonna try and sort of like wave that out in their direction to help like start hauling them in, keeping an eye over her shoulder at these fish boys at the same time.
Yeah, so Snowmoon does his best to start swimming towards the oar and try to grab onto it.
It's easy enough. It's unpleasant. As you start swimming closer, you do see that there are a couple of skeletons in the water next to you. They're sort of bobbing and floating.
It doesn't
I
really
would be
phase him.
moving. I would also be
Yeah.
looking for the sharks to see if they made it.
Yeah, true.
Make a
But I would
perception
be
check.
moving toward the skiff.
Ooh.
18.
Oh, okay. Well, looking immediately around where you guys landed, you don't notice them immediately. But as you're looking around, you do start to see that there are some fins moving further in the south.
Okay.
I would like to tread water with my feet and put up my hands towards the fish people and kind of just say, "We come in peace. Come back to the boat." And just kind of like pantomime, like really bigly.
The
She
one
makes a
to the
gesture of
north of the
surrender,
building just sort of leans
happens to
forward.
be the middle finger in their language.
Just sort of leans forward. And as it turns back and you hear it start saying something behind it, But I'm assuming you don't speak. Does anyone speak Aquan?
No.
Yeah, so
Not a
you're
chance.
just hearing. It sounds almost like water.
Blub, blub, blub.
It sounds almost like somebody pouring water in between two containers.
Okay, swishy.
So it's as you listen to it a couple months, and then it just turns back and then looks back at the building, and you can hear sounds. Now you're hearing it much louder. Metal on metal. There's coarse shouting now. Something is going on within that building.
We'll be leaving now. Goodbye.
You get in the boat.
Okay.
Should we? Does that tower look like the fish people made it, or is it like a foreign object?
It
Considering that everything down here is mismatched anyway.
Yeah, it's looking at it. It is definitely put together with random bits. It doesn't look like this thing bit a piece of a building off. As you're looking at it, you can see there's parts of it that are made of what looks to be like almost stone, small pieces of stone and brick. Other pieces that are made out of shells and things of that nature. As you're looking, trying to get a better look at it, you can see the door looks like it's got pieces of like some sort of animal's rib cage with some sort of leather hide woven into it.
These things look like they've been here for a time. They're not like
the ones you
they're
can
not, like,
see,
recent?
yeah,
Okay.
they look. You get the feeling that maybe they belong here.
Okay.
From the way they're looking, like even the weapons they're holding, as you're with Lydia and Art being closer down that way. Again, you can see what looks to be a long haft of wood, but then what looks to be almost like a nautiloid's, like one of those spiraled shells on the end of it to make a crude spear.
Okay.
Then as Lydia and Artemis start swimming back over towards the boat, and again, you're running into much of the same as the others did, where there's bits and everything through. Artemis, as you start swimming closer, you end up there's a skeleton just bobbing in the water in front of you.
Good company.
Is there anything interesting attached to it?
And you sort of, as you're bending over, sort of reach and start moving that, starting to move the skeleton. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh crap! I haven't been having a good time with these, so.
That's about. Yep. Uh huh. 9?
Oh, okay.
But these are new dice too. What is happening?
As you start sort of starting to move this thing through, you get a very odd sensation as the water seems to become thicker.
Oh, great.
And with that, give me a second here. You
Ooh,
take
that sounded like multiple dice.
9 points of acid damage,
Ooh.
and I need you to all go ahead and roll initiative.
On our new
As
Oh boy.
Artemis, you are now engulfed.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Not bad. That's not bad. What's my initiative? 18 for me for initiative.
Okay. Actually, what we're gonna do? Give me a second. I'm going to.
How much did you say I took?
9.
Oh. Okay.
I rolled a 12.
Give me just a second, because I'm actually going to deleting everybody off my tracker, so I can actually put you guys on there with your tokens, because got beautiful tokens. Let's use them. And of course, I grabbed the one without info. Okay, so for the moment, we are going to just use Furia to roll for everybody. And then we'll change up and use your actual rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where? Oh, there we go. And 6. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Bitter Jack, what'd you have?
18. I just
Oh,
switched it myself.
Beautiful. Furia.
11.
Okay, Snow Moon.
12.
Okay, Lydia.
9.
And Artemis.
16.
Okay. Now I gotta grab him. And let's see here. Wow. Can you have an initiative modifier or what?
Oi. It's not good.
Okay. Just because I find this hysterical. I've never been able to roll an initiative at a -3 before.
Oh.
And now what I will do is where, who do we have? Okay, so that's you, so we're gonna go and jump over here, and we are gonna pull you over to the token layer. As
Red?
Artemis has wham into a cube.
Oh.
And with that,
Rule 1 of dungeons: don't touch the skeleton.
It could be Globabob, who's super nice.
Oh my god, it could be. He's a dimension-hopping sentient gelatinous cube now.
Globabob.
Here, I have him right here. Here he is.
Globabob.
oh dear
Look at
God.
googly
This
eyes.
is my gelatinous cube
Googly eyes.
painting that my party put googly eyes on.
That will bring us to the top of our order with Bitter Jack.
Okay. I'm real confused as to, well, I'm not. Jack is real confused as to she's gonna step up to the side of the boat here. I don't know how these hexes are necessarily.
The hexes are accurate, so it's the boat may be a little off because of that, but as long as you've got a portion
I
of your
see.
token on the boat, you're still
Yeah,
on the boat.
so she's going up to like the lip of the boat, to the edge of the boat there, but not such that she will be in the way of the others needing to get at where Artemis and the gelatinous cube. So I guess the first move here is I'd like to have her sort of survey the situation. Primarily, does she even like notice what the heck is going on with Artemis and this cube? And what are these boys doing over here?
Oh, okay. So go ahead and we'll make this a free perception check for you.
Okay.
This is just
Oh,
sort
not
of-
one.
Artemis is just not very good at swimming. As far as the others on the shore, and even with a nat 1, you can see they're just standing there. They're noticing that things are happening over there, but again, it seems like they're more interested in the building than anything that's going on over there.
Okay. So with my super awesome perception check, she's really not going to do much different than she was going to do anyway. She'll move to that position. Both pistols will come out, but they're just kind of like at her sides, and I'm just going to hold an action. She's keeping an eye on these guys. She's nervous about these things. If some shenanigans go down and they not beneficial towards the health of our party, I'm going to use my ready to action to fire my
Oh, okay. And that will bring us over to Artemis, who is, let's see here. So as you're engulfed, okay, so currently you cannot breathe, you are restrained.
I sure am.
You can try to make a strength check if you want to try to break out.
Would you like to touch people?
My dice tower got knocked over by the rocking of the boat.
I mean, I gotta try. I'll try
Well,
that strength.
you've got other things you can try to attack. I mean, you're just restrained, so you can still attack. You could, I'll say you could still technically cast spells, but again, you can't breathe, so the minute you do it, you're gonna be expending what little oxygen you have in your lungs, so.
Well, I have a plan. Let me know what you think about it. Shape water is only somatic, so that's only a movement of the hand.
Okay.
Would I still be able to cast that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to freeze a 5-foot cube underneath myself, and hopefully, upon freezing, it will push the rest of me up, and whatever I'm attached to.
Okay. So that will definitely work, and we will have, okay.
Can I
So,
say after our 10-minute break where we figure out the math on the hydrodynamics and how much weight a 5-foot cube of frozen water can displace?
so I'm gonna, depending on your answer to this, will depend on whether or not my roll is made with advantage or disadvantage. Are you trying to get this cube of ice to basically pick everything up and just sort of have it sitting there? Or are you just trying to sort of get it to just sort of explode?
No, I want them to notice that I'm in a bit of a pickle.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so then I will make the dexterity save as you are basically just lifting this thing on a block of ice with advantage per your intent. So it's going to try to keep its balance on the top of this thing.
Okay.
Let's see here. Mind you, with that initiative roll, you know what this thing has for a dex modifier, so...
Fair enough.
Okay, that's actually surprisingly not bad. So it does manage to hold on. So all of you see as all of a sudden this massive cube of ice just starts to lift up, and you can watch as Art is sort of tossed a little side to side as it's sort of carried up. But now you can see Artemis is suspended in this, what looks to be almost 5-foot square cube of this bluish green gelatin.
Ew.
Also within it, you can see, looks to be a scimitar, a remnants of what looks to be at one point might have been a shield, and a humanoid skeleton. Okay, so you've got bonus action.
I stare hard at Bitterjack.
Okay, so,
And that's it.
so that'll bring us over to Snow Moon.
Okay. So he doesn't really feel like he could attack this thing without like putting Artemis in danger. So if he's gonna walk to right up to the edge of the boat, and can I like try and sink a hand in and like rip Artemis free?
You can certainly try to. Go ahead and give me a strength check.
Okay. Oh. A 5 plus 10
Now
total, so
you reach in, you grab hold and try to pull. It just doesn't seem like you can get her out. Get him. No, get them out. Sorry. That's actually, you've got bonus action and movement left. Well, you've got a little more movement left.
I think I'll just stay there, but I'll just like turn to the rest of the party to just help me with this. I can't get Art out.
Okay, so that'll bring us over to Furia.
Can I stand on the boat and hit the cube without, getting in the way of everybody else? Is there room for me up there?
It's getting a little tight, and the boat is starting to list a little towards that front corner. As now you've got Bitterjack and Snow Moon both standing up in that area. But you think you might be able to.
She doesn't want to fall onto the goop again, so Would I be able to hit? Because Art is inside the cube.
Literally, yes.
So something exploding right by and wouldn't necessarily hit them. Not fire damage though. I was wondering specifically ice knife. If I throw the ice knife, would the shards from the explosion hit Art inside the cube?
You don't think it would hit Art, but you're pretty sure where Snow Moon is right next to it, it would probably hit Snow Moon. As this ice knife blows up and it sprays out sort of this shrapnel, you don't think it's going to do enough to necessarily get in.
Right. Yeah, it's the 5-foot thing. All right, I am going to fairy fire on the cube.
Oh, okay. So that has to make, I believe, Fairy Fire is a dexterity save, right?
It is, and I would do it so the point that I'm aiming for is off the boat and off the cube, so I don't hit my friends.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a 4. So, so it is now neatly glowing with... what does your Fairy Fire look like?
It would be a green glow that this cube would light up in.
Okay. So no, I don't want that. Okay, we want green. We'll give it a... Okay, so it's giving off a lovely little green glow. It's now...
That's what I'm doing. I'm staying in this corner to help balance the boat.
Okay. And that'll bring us over to Sweet William.
Oh, yeah. I'm just like readying my hand crossbow and I'm gonna shoot it at the cube.
Okay, so
when in doubt, shoot it out.
That'll hit. So go ahead and roll your damage. Okay. Where is my notepad here? Okay. Okay, as you watch as the crossbow bolt sinks into the cube, and Art, you can see it as it just sort of sinks in, and it's just sort of sitting in the gel a couple of inches from the side of your head. Anything else you'd be doing, Sweet William?
Nope.
Okay, so that'll bring us over to Lydia. Why did I skip over you and go to them? There we go.
Lydia's going to cast Bless on Artemis, Snow Moon, and Bitter Jack.
Okay.
Is that temporary hit points?
No, that's +4.
So you can add a D4 to any attack roll, saving throw. Oh wait, is it saving throws?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's just attacking saving things.
Okay. And give me a second. I'm going to move my cube for a second so I can throw one on to... I set that as green, and I shouldn't have because everything on top of Artemis is green right now. Okay, so I think Bless is your action. You've got movement and bonus action.
I'm just gonna stay where I am.
Okay.
Wait, am I in the water? Did we just discern this?
You were swimming back to the boat. I don't know if you ever
Okay,
said that
with
you
my-
had ever specified whether or not you were climbing back in. I assume you would
I
have,
have
but...
one arm in the boat, and I'm looking at the front. I'm not in the boat. But
So you're
I'm
still within the...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't leave Artemis by himself.
Okay, so that is going to bring us over to that. So with the beginning of its turn, Art takes some damage. Let me see here.
Oh, crap.
Yes.
We're level 3.
Bye, guys.
You guys.
Okay.
And Art's a wizard. Oh my god. I was not feeling the sense of urgency on this until I just realized those two facts.
Yeah, so
Staring real hard at Bitter Jack.
Hang on, it's my turn next.
Artemis takes 23 points of acid
Whoa,
damage.
crap!
Cool.
4 5s and a 3.
Ooh.
High roller.
So I'm like way down, you guys.
I'm sorry.
Are you down
add
or
one
dead?
more to that. It's 66, not 5. So add one more point.
Are you down or dead?
I don't know. What is dead?
I think you
What a
have
state
well,
of mind.
to negative
You
your
look-
max hit points
Yeah,
to
so
die.
you'd have to go negative your max in one hit. So what's your maximum hit points?
17, my dude.
What were you at?
5.
No, you have 1 left.
Okay.
Hey guys.
Literally, you are unconscious with 0 failed death saves, but you were 1 point shy of insta-death. So Artemis is now unconscious.
All right.
And this thing is within 5 feet of Snow Moon, so it is going to make an attack against Snow Moon. And that's an at 20.
Yeah, so
I
that'll hit.
am putting... Where did this go? I am putting you away, because you're going to kill somebody. Okay.
Hello?
And
Can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I
Okay,
hear.
good. Discord went crazy for me too.
Oh, okay.
Matthew, put those dice in the timeout box.
I just did. It's now over here.
Yeah.
And Snow Moon, that is 8 points of acid damage to you.
Okay.
And that's going to end its turn and bring us back to Bitter Jack. Jack, you can now see
shit.
Art is just gone completely limp and is just floating there.
All right, time to get real, boys. So, Jack sees this, and if I was a barbarian, I would say I'd like to rage right now. But she does the Bitter Jack equivalent of that. Her face goes like feral. She pulls both.
Did anyone else lose Matt, or is it just me? Oh. Okay, I'm sorry, Twitch chat. If you can hear this, our voice chat in Discord went dead for some reason. Hold on, we are trying to get it figured out. Okay, am I back? Hey, am I back?
You're back.
We
Okay,
just
who'd we
lost.
lose though? We're down 1. We're down a Kaplan.
You're back, Evelyn.
Man, Discord is not like no.
Okay. I have no idea anything that Jack said other than going feral.
So yeah, I realized Discord was freaking out right after that, so that's where I stopped. So it works out.
I saw you turned your head and I'm like, what happened? What are you looking at?
It was like Discord was like, bloop, bloop, bloop,
Yeah,
bloop.
somebody. Yeah.
I figured something was wrong. I just stopped talking. Yeah, so she pulls her lips back and snarls, and her eyes, like pupil and iris and sclera, just like disappear, and they go like sort of like silvery black. For anybody who's like facing her, it almost looks like her eyes go with just like a galaxy of these like little lights within them. Some magic shit's gonna start happening, folks. I'm gonna place my Hexblade's curse onto this cube.
Oh, okay.
So like just the shadows from this gloomy chamber just like coalesce and start to like climb onto this thing. And let me make sure I do all this in the right order. So that's my bonus action.
Okay.
Then I am going to take 2 shots with my my pistols.
Okay. Just to make sure, Kaplan, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm back in.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That's not great. Hopefully this thing's AC is real low. So that is that's a 20, a dirty 20 with my main weapon.
That'll hit.
And it's only a 9 with my offhand.
And that'll hit.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right. So with Hexblade's
Big,
curse-
slow-moving target.
So the first pistol does 9 points of piercing damage. The second pistol does 7 points of piercing damage. And I am going to use my action surge.
Okay.
And she, through like gritted teeth, she goes, Maka, go! And I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast through my weapon
Okay.
here on the cube. Oh shit!
Oh, yeah.
20 boys.
That will help.
Here's my damage dice. What does Eldritch Blast do for damage? A D10.
Yeah, D10.
That's the one that looks like this. 8 points of damage.
Okay.
8 points of damage. Force damage. As just like a tenebrous black bolt fires out the end of the gun. No bang, no smoke associated with it. Just like a silent streak of something.
Jack would notice that the closest creature is now not paying so much attention to the building, is more looking over in your general direction now.
Okay.
The parties, but I know Jack had mentioned was keeping an eye on it.
I probably at this point she's far too focused on art to have really be paying much mind to them anymore. That's all I'm gonna do with my turn.
Yes, that brings us over to Artemis. So Artemis, I need you to make a death saving throw for me.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
19.
Okay, so that is one successful.
Nice.
That brings us over to Snow Moon.
Okay, so he's going to unsheath his greatsword from his hip and basically try and like carve art out of this, and I'm going to use my nat 20.
So you're attacking this, or you're trying to make a strength check to pull art out?
No, I'm going to attack it, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure exactly what you're doing. So that 20 will definitely hit, so go ahead and roll some damage.
Okay.
As our first nat 20 is spent.
Okay, so that'll be 14 total.
Okay. So this
And is
thing-
that the bless? Is that for the
No,
roll
that's
to hit or the damage?
And that's for the hit.
Oh, okay. So that was without the blessing. So should I add another 4?
Well, no, because you used the nat
Well, it's
20, so
only
it
the
just
hit.
auto hits.
Oh, it's for the roll to hit, not damage. Okay.
Right, it's the hit
Right.
roll.
Okay, gotcha.
And a saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't
So-
remember which one.
Oh, and Armish, don't forget you are technically still blessed. So when
Yeah.
you roll, if you roll low on your death save, if you have to make another one, don't forget you can roll an additional D4.
Yeah.
Could make a difference for you. I guess that was 14. Yeah, this thing is you're starting to watch as sort of clumps of this cube are just starting to fall into the liquid.
It's
It's like
still
it's taking some damage, but it's still up.
okay. Seeing that, I'm gonna use my action surge, and I'm going to attack again with my greatsword.
Okay. Go ahead and make your roll.
Okay, 13 plus 5 plus 4,
that-
so 9.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack hit it with a 9, so if you roll above a 9, you know you're good.
Okay, so this
Oh,
will
no.
be 12 damage.
Okay. You're watching as more clumps are falling, but it is still on its proverbial feet, so to speak.
Okay, yeah, so he just takes 2 great slashes at it, and he's just standing poised with his blade raised, ready. But
Okay.
yeah, that'll be my turn.
So that'll bring us over to Furia.
I'm going to take a longbow shot at this cube.
Okay.
My shiny new longbow. Oh, that's a 14.
Okay, so that'll hit. Go ahead and roll some damage.
$11 points.
Okay, as you
The
can
highest
see
I
there's
can go.
more of it starting to sort of fall and dissolve, but it's still present. Anything else you'd be doing?
How much stuff is floating by us in this goop? Is there
In terms of what? Like,
stuff I could throw? Rock-sized stuff?
as you're looking around, you can see there's, small bits of wood, things of that nature that are around floating in it. Oh, there's a couple of skulls, bone pieces, but there's not a whole lot floating that hasn't been dissolved yet.
Right, okay.
Other than your boat, the couple of barrels, but those are a little larger.
Right. Alright, that's it.
Okay. So that'll bring us over to Sweet William.
Same thing. I'm just gonna shoot at it with my crossbow.
Okay. So the 9 will hit. So go ahead and okay. Now, Sweet William, how do you want to do this?
Yeah.
So I just take aim with my hand crossbow, and I shoot it right through the cube. And as I do so, the surface tension of it pops and ruptures, and all the liquid of it just splashes out.
Gross.
As you watch as it splashes out and just flows out. Snowmoon, go ahead and make a dexterity save for me.
Got booted out of Discord.
As you watch as
Same.
this starts to plot out, and you watch as art starts to get basically washed back down into the liquid below. Oh, you may not be able to hear me. Maddie, are you there?
No, he got dropped out of Discord a minute ago.
Oh, no, okay. So, yep. So Artemis is dragged and brought onto the boat by Snowmoon as this happens. And while we are not technically in battle, we are still in initiative order at the moment because of Art is still in rough shape at the moment. That brings us to Lydia.
I'd like to rush over to Art and cast Cure Wounds,
Okay.
level 2.
There you go. So roll up some dice for Artemis.
Ooh. 14.
Okay.
Gosh.
That Artemis, you find yourself pulled up onto the boat, And that is where we will take our break this evening. As it is about 15 minutes later than usual, but couldn't break in the middle of that.
No.
So we will be back in just a few minutes, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will be back shortly, and hopefully with fewer technological problems from our Discord side today. And yeah, we'll be back in a little bit to find out how our party continues on with their way inside this massive creature's stomach. had returned from an extremely terse battle, as it saw our gnomish wizard accidentally find themselves inside of a gelatinous cube, gasping as they felt their life leaving, only to have our party manage to slay the creature and pull the unconscious Artemis onto the deck of the boat, where Lydia promptly healed Artemis and brought consciousness and wellness back to her diminutive friend. And that is where we pick up. You guys are still now just floating in a sea of bile, seawater, and stomach acid. You can hear, again, sounds of battle are still coming from the round building, but it's not as ruckus now. It seems to be whatever's going on in there is potentially starting to wind down.
None of the fish people on the dry surface have noticed our presence.
It seems like at least one or two of them have noticed, but they're not overly concerned. The one closest to the north, so this one here, was looking over a little earlier, but I think the only one who was really paying attention at that point, or had been watching them, was Bitter Jack, and then Jack went off into Jack's head to deal with the creature that was going after Art. So I don't think anyone really noticed that it was sort of watching. But now it seems like they're all staring back at this central building again with these crude sort of makeshift spears.
I say we leave here as soon as possible, because whatever dies down inside there will come out, and then we'll have to face it. Like, if it's a party of people that are fighting each other, and one party prevails and the other are left dead inside, one party is going to come out eventually, and we're going to have to face whoever it is.
What if whatever is in there is something that could help us figure out what's going on generally in here?
True, but you wanted to take that chance.
Jack
I
is
think we should check it out.
Jack is sort of like kind of blinking a little bit, and after a few moments, her two like solid black eyes with the galaxies swirling within them sort of disappear, and her eyes go back to normal. And she kind of like grunts out like, "They watched while we fought that. We should talk to them."
Alright, Les.
The tower, are there openings or windows in it?
You're muted.
Thank you. From where you guys are, you can see that there is at least one smaller window on, again, from the lay of the map, on the northern side, facing
Okay.
a little more over towards this guy here.
How tall is the tower?
Looks to be about maybe 10, 12 feet tall from ground up to the top of the roof.
Could I see inside the window if I stood next to it?
From what your estimate is, yeah, probably.
Alright. Should we approach them, or should we just let them come out to us?
I could always sneak inside.
Me
Aren't there
too.
like, wait a minute. There's dudes just like standing there, right? I mean, at this point, we're talking about just like sailing up to these guys on the shore.
Yeah.
Yeah, the group of them that you can see, they're just standing there. Again, these... almost looks like if you were thinking of our own history, it's what you expect early humanity to look like before the advent of the Bronze Age. It looks like these things are basically hunter-gatherers.
You've been playing Civ, haven't you?
And it's like they're using whatever they can find that gets swallowed down by here to survive.
Okay.
This was a thought I was having before we got into that fight, and has now reoccurred to me. Jack is gonna like lean over the side of the boat and look at the where the skiff is meeting the stomach acid, and inspect whether or not our boat is currently being like partially dissolved beneath us.
So, as you're looking, you can see specifically like where you had painted on like some of the blood and guts from the fish initially. You definitely see a sizzling coming from the from that content. You get the impersonation that you think that eventually it would break down the boat, but this liquid is designed more to destroy organic, like
we're not
meat
necessarily
and veg,
in
rather
danger
than.
of like having our boat dissolve beneath.
Yeah, you think if you were to sit in here for a week or so, yeah, you'd be treading water at that point. But
okay.
Does anyone have prestidigitation by any chance?
What's that?
I heard it's a spell of some sort that I can't learn, so I was just wondering if someone else had it because I went in the drink.
Jack is currently now trying to like one-oared stroke the boat towards the shore.
I'll help you with that laugh.
As you're asking this, and the boat's just slowly starting to turn a little bit.
Yeah, Snowmoon will just kind of, without word, will just take that oar from Jack and its partner, and then just start to row as well.
If we want to approach front on, I'm fine with that. But I can turn into a spider and climb up a wall and poke my head in.
Don't you think they'll notice you turning into a spider and crawling up the wall and poking your head in?
I don't know. Spiders are kind of small.
I can turn invisible. Do you think they notice that?
Well, you take up more space than a spider does.
Yeah, I'm still confused now. Like, we're definitely like 15 feet from a bunch of guys who are just there, right?
Yeah.
So, Paul, you're probably a little further away than 15 feet.
5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah.
So we're like 30 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if they can understand us, and I haven't heard them speak anything I understand.
Meantime, you guys
Are there fish in this water?
I did see a couple sharks down south. More.
go ahead and make a perception check if you want to, Lydia.
But that was a while ago, so they might not still be there.
What a waste of a nat 20 to see if there are fish in this vile infested water.
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
As you start looking,
Yes.
and Lydia, I'm assuming you're probably going to be calling this out as you start to notice this.
Quite.
As you start to see...
Oh, great! Bloody hell! There's schools of like piranhas or something down there. Or something played in something.
Really? Let me see. I want to.
No piranhas for you. Please. Oh, a shark. Oh dear. There's lots of sea life down there. I'm glad we didn't get nibbled on before. Hey, Art, you hear that? You're lucky that you weren't nibbled on by a shark. Oh.
I would still be in the boat, but I would be leaning over trying to see whatever fish Lydia has been seeing.
I'll point them out.
Yeah, with her pointing them out, you can definitely start to see all of the different And it's strange for... Now, you're not overly familiar... you're not hugely familiar with fish, Furia. But even you notice that they're all looking at the hut.
The hut?
They're facing that direction again. They don't have their like heads stuck up out of the water staring at it.
Right.
But they're all facing that area, and you watch as they swim forward a little bit, then really quickly do a little 360 spin around, and then start swimming towards it a little, just enough to keep liquid moving over the gills.
We really need to check out what's
But whatever's going
that's
on in that hut, it
weird.
seems like everything is focused on it.
All right.
If I vamp into a spider, sit on one of your shoulders, and we go ashore, I could climb up the wall, or we could just march in there.
I doubt we'll be greeted.
Ask politely.
Okay. Whatever you want.
They have not attacked us yet.
Alright. So you want to become a spider and sit on my shoulder?
Well, if I'm going to check it out, but I don't know if that's what we're doing. It's an option. I can also turn into a brown bear again and kill everything. It's up to us. But I do think we need to investigate further.
Alright. Last time this happened to me, someone threw a fireball at a group of frogmen. And then when we went in hands up, they took us captive. Well, I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong here, but...
Also, I don't know if Art's up to another fight. We just pulled him out of a cubic jelly.
Oh, right, Art, how you feeling there?
Been better. Memory's still a bit hazy. There's slime in places where I didn't think slime could be. Entirely content to stay on the boat for a little bit. Then just maybe hang back a bit. Yes.
Is that the, 2-foot gap that it looks like on the map there?
Probably, it's like maybe 3.5, something like that, yeah.
Alright, well, you know how, in the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Jack Sparrow just, is at the edge of his little crow's nest thing, and just puts his foot out, and as soon as the boat comes up to the dock, he just steps off? Jack does that. She's, I've made a character choice for her that she doesn't have patience for things that are not narratively interesting for a podcast. And she's going to advance the story.
Okay.
Nobody is making a decision here.
Okay, so you guys managed to land a couple of seconds after Jack has stepped out. We're just going to move you down because fish don't go in a boat. Okay, so Jack is off the boat. Fury, what are you doing?
I'm waiting for somebody to tell me if we are attacking or scouting. If people are moving forward, I would be moving forward with and off the boat.
Okay. Lydia, Snow Moon, William?
I too will follow Bitter
Yes.
Jack off the boat.
Yes, I'll begin to follow as well.
Okay.
So is there a visible entrance to this thing besides the windows that we're able to see now that we're on shore?
Yep, so now that you're on shore, you can see there is a door on the back of it.
Oh,
It's right over here, that they're all sort of clustered around.
how tall are these?
These creatures.
Yeah.
They're, I'm gonna phrase them. They're sort of human size. So you're looking at them. They're not all the same height. See a couple of them that are like 5.5 feet tall. There's one that's just under 6 feet, but they really don't go much outside of that range.
Okay.
As you guys step down and start stepping forward, the one that's sort of been in the back behind this building sort of steps around a little bit. And just a little bit, though, and starts taking a look. One
I
steps
put
a
up my
little
hands
closer.
real slow.
Again, the head sort of cocks. You notice they're all holding these sort of primitive-looking spears.
What?
Nothing's been raised towards you, but they're still holding them in two hands, looking over at you. And every couple of seconds, as you hear, some sort of sound of, metal on metal, and like from within the building, the heads turn back real quick and then go back to look and see what's going on.
Good Foley.
Yes. How deep is the water right here between?
You can check if you'd like. You're really not sure. It's hard to see down into it.
Okay.
Your guess is it's not like a nice level beach where it's, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inches. There's a little bit of a drop as it's sort of...
I want to see if I can go stand by the window without alarming them.
You can certainly try.
As she's doing that, Jack will kind of like start moseying in their direction, but slightly angled this way, to try and sort of draw their attention away from Lydia going the other way. She has her hands sort of like this, in what is, to all appearances, a sort of non-threatening, I'm not armed type of motion, though still pretty close to like gun gun level. And if at all one of these things like catches her eye, I'd like her to sort of like give a nod in the direction of that hut, and then like a sort of like a questioning sort of head tilt shrug type of thing to them.
So as you start walking over that direction and sort of away from where Lydia's heading to, the one that had caught your eye earlier and was watching you guys definitely turns to sort of notices Lydia first, and that sort of like half pink look, and then sees you moving and is just like sort of drawn back towards you. And as you're watching, as you make that gesture, again you hear that sort of sound of just moving water, as that one and the one that you're walking sort of towards on the other side of the small building are sort of going back and forth, and then looks back at the building and back at you and then back at the building, and takes the spear and sort of goes and thrusts it at the building a little bit.
Oh. Like, it's indicating we want to go in the building? Or we should go in the building?
So go ahead and whoever wants to can go ahead and make an insight check.
Wisdom.
Oh, the
Ah!
well,
Another nat 20! I shit you
13
not.
for me.
Okay.
As Lydia sees through space and time behind me.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a 19.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a 7. Even though I'm paying attention, somehow I missed the whole thing.
Well, as Jack and this creature sort of having this momentary interaction, Lydia, as you're sort of starting to walk forward and looking at that window, trying to get a little close to see what's going on, you can see what almost appears to be like a hum or a pulse of something from within that room. And then you see this thing turn and thrust not into the building but towards it. You get the impression that whatever is inside there, they are not happy about it.
Okay, a hum of, like, energy?
Yeah, almost like an energy or some sort of power is coming from within that room. As you're getting a little closer to the window, it's not it's not like a fireball or a magical light that is irradiating the whole room and shining out, but as you're getting closer to it, you're starting to pick up on it.
I will use Furball magic and cast Detect Magic in that direction.
Oh, bloody hell. Okay. I forgot Furbolgs have that, and I don't have what school of magic it is pulled up in front of me, so give me just a second here. As I now have to pull up my notes online. Okay, so as you're looking, as you use this ability, right now you can't see anything because it's the wall's blocking it for you.
Okay.
But once you get up, if you go up to the window and look in, you will be able to see it.
Okay, I will gently walk up here, next to the creature, arms up still,
Okay.
and just gently turn and disappear inside the window.
Alrighty then. So what you see within the window, you actually see a couple of things going on. So let me see, do I have a good token for this one? Give me just a second here. Okay, no, you don't have a token on here, so let me try here. Okay. Well, neither of those are good. Just a second here, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, we will work with you because you are actually from Wizards. Okay, just give me a second, and I'm just gonna pop this over here so you can see, so I can show you everything that you see as you look in there. Okay, so holy mother of, that is bloody huge.
Oh dear. I don't know what it is.
No, I grabbed what said it was a token, and
Oh.
it is like 3/4 the size of my screen.
Right click, set dimension.
So, first thing you see inside is this.
Oh dear.
Oh man.
And it is just long, fish-like tail.
Mm-hmm.
You can see does not look to be at home on land. Within the room, you see a small basin of water. It looks like an oversized bathtub or a very small swimming pool. This thing is currently about halfway submerged, sitting up almost like a snake would be.
Oh.
Has a long harpoon in its hands.
Oh dear.
Sitting behind it is a small, now that you're there, brightly glowing orb.
Oh.
In front of said creature, you then see two additional things that are currently embroiled in a battle with it. And those... Come on, switch over. Look like... Oh, I'm still on Jamlet. Oh, give me a second so I can move them both over. And those things look like this.
Oh, darn.
Hang 10.
And as you're watching as these two look to be humanoid sharks are just tearing into this creature that you're looking sitting in the tub.
Oh, tearing into the merman dude?
Yes. Watching, they're both carrying what look to be shortened tridents.
Okay.
And this thing you can see has multiple puncture wounds across its body.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like whatever they're doing there, they're interested in that little glowing orb.
Is this information being relayed to us? out
Yes.
here?
Yes, do you want me to? Boys, there's two shark people fighting a giant merman warrior guy and sitting in front of a magical orb. and I don't know what any of it means.
Jack is gonna look to. This was the guy who sort of like has non-verbally made attempts to communicate with her, right?
Yep.
He was
So
the,
that
like,
the first
quirky
one
guy?
who looked over at you, you heard it call out to the one behind the building, and then the one
Okay.
behind the building is the one sort of giving the gestures and.
Okay. So, I'm gonna turn to him, and as Lydia sort of like relays this information to us, she's going to gesture towards the building again, and she's going to do this. One finger, and then like, this is hard to see. She makes like a one big, two, and then like sort of pantomiming what Lydia described to her, and then she's gonna pull out one of her guns, gesture it towards the building, and she's gonna go, and then give like a questioning look towards the creature again, while like sort of motioning her gun as a like, which one you want me to go in there and shoot type of gesture.
Oh, okay. Let's see if it is. Let's see.
Now you know how it feels to talk to turtles. That's exactly what it feels like to talk to turtles.
That Jack feels all the time. She can't speak on a regular basis. This is like a day in the park for her.
Okay, so that's not bad. Let's see.
I can calm emotions on a 20-foot radius.
Oh, okay.
Just in case.
So it sort of cocks its head a little and looks at you. And thinking again that calls back over the other one. There's another couple of seconds of conversation. And then it looks at you and goes, picks up the spear and lowers it.
Okay.
Then looks and goes,
Jack nods and is gonna walk over to the door. And as she's doing this, she's gonna say to them, she says, "These creatures want us to kill the sharks."
I
As
think
she's
we
saying
could do
this,
that.
she's like,
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
That's just something we can try to help out with.
Is there a door on this structure?
yep, the door's literally like almost right in front of where Jack's standing right now.
Okay.
All right. How kickable does it look?
It looks like a well-placed fart would knock the door in.
Okay.
It's
so
not
she'll-
exactly meant to be.
Okay. Two guns at the ready. She'll wait for everybody else to take whatever positions we're gonna take.
If you can get them to come outside, I'll have a much easier time if I turn into a bear, per se.
She like cocks her head for a second. She looks at William for like a little bit of a translation.
William is busy getting into position, but he turns to Jack and says in their language to lure them out.
She we. Everybody ready?
We.
So Jack is gonna like two guns at the ready. She's gonna kick the door, and then when the door opens, she's just gonna take like one step inside, and she's just gonna go, boo, and then poof, both barrels into each shark.
Okay.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll your attack, because this will count as a surprise round for you.
Nice.
And while that's happening,
not
real
great.
quick, does anyone speak Abyssal?
Wait.
Yes.
Okay.
No. John.
So it's a 10 on my main gun, and a 12 on my offhand gun.
Okay. Okay, so the 10 misses, the 12 will not.
What? The 12?
The 12, sorry,
Hits?
the 12 hits, 10 misses.
12 hits. Okay.
Should have worded that better.
I should know what the damage dice of my weapons are. Oh shit, these do a d10?
Yeah.
Yeah, my damage, my weapons do a lot of damage, you guys. We're finding this out together. That's a d8.
Matthew, I don't know if you caught it, but Artemis does speak Abyssal.
Yep.
Okay.
So 10 damage to this one.
Which one? Okay. So we're just
And
gonna
the other
put
one,
in order to make life easy for us, we're gonna put a yellow dot and call you Shark 1. Put a yellow dot and call you
Left shark,
2.
right shark.
Oh my god. Yes!
Yes. Left shark, right shark.
Okay. Oh my
so
god,
after
now
she
you made
does
me write
that,
it that
she
way.
just, like, she just sort of like rolls back to the side of the off to the side of the door, sort of like through her own cloud of gun smoke.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay. Really? Alrighty then. Give me a sec. How much damage did you do?
7 plus
Okay, give me a second.
10 damage.
For our Canadian friends, that happened during a Super Bowl.
Yes, I know about that. That
Okay.
made like front page news.
Oh, really?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Not the Super Bowl itself, just the left shark of the Super Bowl.
Okay. I'm sorry, what was that damage again,
Super Bowl.
Matt?
10 damage.
Okay. So that shark looks absolutely destroyed.
Oh.
Okay.
He is bleeding horrendously. The other one you didn't hit seems to be in really good condition in hindsight. In alternate, I guess. Okay, and with that, I need you all to go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Initiative. That's not great.
7.
9.
Okay.
Deck. Oh, I'll just do it myself.
Boop. Oh, okay. Yeah, so once you change your initiative, go ahead and change on the turn order for me. That'll make my life a little easier. As we're going to go, you guys are...
Mm.
You know, I gotta stop using this white die. I can barely read it. Okay, so that is... that's you, and we'll call you,
20.
Nice.
ooh. Okay, then we'll call... you. Really? So that is... And you guys are... Okay, and then... I cannot change this. We're gonna go... make you red. I'm trying to... Why can I not get into alter my turn order? Well, it doesn't give me the edit option. That is stupid. Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna close it. Try. There it goes. Okay, if we're gonna go. Okay, and you are. Okay, okay, Lydia, what's yours?
13?
Oh.
I edited it already.
Oh, did anyone not edit their initiative?
I didn't.
Did not.
No, but where you roll it on Roll20, it does it automatically. Okay, so with that brings us to the top of the order with Artemis.
Okay.
Well, you just saw Jack kick in the door. You heard 2 shots go off.
So what is the state of this hut? You said it was pretty run down.
Yeah, it looks like it's... I mean, Ramshackle is probably being courteous to it. It looks like these creatures have taken bits and pieces of different ships and materials that have been swallowed by this creature and have just sort of built them up into a structure. Based on what Lydia told you, it looks like they built it into a structure for something to reside in. Given Lydia's mention of like this makeshift bath or swimming pool almost within it, with this large creature within it.
So, I'm guessing we don't want to destroy the hut.
They would probably be upset if we did that.
Right.
Can I see either of them?
So from where you are now, I'll be a little difficult. You can see a little bit of this larger creature through the opening of the door, but you'd have to move over either up to the window or over more in front of the door to really get a good shot inside, or a good view inside. So I'm trying to find a better token that I can use other than that huge monstrosity of a picture I have found.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that would magic missile actually like work? Like I know it's like an auto hit, but like would it hit the wall or?
I'll say with given how you've been told how it's laid out, I'd say sure, you can hit it.
Okay.
Who were you shooting at? There are 3 targets in there.
Oh, 3?
Oh, there are the 2 shark things and the big creature. You know they're fighting each other. Oh, wait, actually, no, because Jack was told and Jack mentioned the... Actually, Jack, did you say anything, or did you just walk in and fire twice? Would you have told the party that your targets were the sharks? I can't remember if you did or not.
Yes.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, said something about the sharks.
Okay, then
Here,
then you would know that you would have 2 targets in there.
My mic was muted.
Okay.
Did you ever tell me what kind of magic was on the sphere?
I think I forgot to. Conjuration.
Conjuration.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. I guess yeah, magic missile. Then on the one that is kind of northmost.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and roll some damage for me.
Okay.
Is that's 2 beams?
No, it's level 1, I
3.
believe it's 3.
It's 3.
Yep.
Jeez. So, like 3d4.
Yep. Should be
3d4
3d4. What is it, 3d4 plus 3?
It's a d4 plus 1 for every bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 3d4 plus 3.
Oh gosh. Okay. $12.
Okay. And with that,
And I think at that stage, you asked me earlier if the magic missiles like had any sort of shape, but I think at this point they're starting to form in the sort of the conical shells that you had actually talked about.
Okay.
The fish wielding. Yeah.
and as that slams in on that first one, falls to the ground.
There. I did something.
Good job. That is awesome.
Anything else you'd be doing?
Probably not. They're gonna hang back.
Oh, okay. And that'll bring us over to Sweet William.
I'm gonna cunning action hide by this house here.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna hold a hand crossbow attack for when I see one of the sharks come out. Unless I can see one right now.
From where you are, you really can't see one. Sort of tucked in the
Okay.
backside of the building at the moment.
Yeah, so I'll just hold my action until I can see it.
Oh, okay. So that is going to bring us over to this individual who is coming from within the hut. You hear you hear for a couple of seconds that same sound of that sort of water, and then a moment later, in abyssal, you hear, "It's here for the orb. The orb was swallowed, and they're here to take it. Defend it." And that'll bring us to Furia.
Alright, so I know things have been said. I have
Yes,
no
you're
idea
hearing things
what.
going back and forth, but yeah, no idea what it is.
I'm thinking these sharks are looking pretty, not too difficult. I am going to just take a longbow shot at the shark that's left over.
Okay, so you'd have to either move towards the door or towards the window from where you are.
Okay, where is the
So
door?
that is a wonderful. Let me grab my.
So I'm assuming I'm nearby, but I'm not really sure here.
So let's see. What is a nice sort? I will go. We'll go with a night light blue, like the thing. So the door. Oh, come on, stop. We'll go one. Wow, I hate freehand drawing with a mouse. That is horrendous. Then we have window. And I'm doing everything in light blue because I'm stupid. Now we have another window, which is hideously long over here. So there are your three quote-unquote points of egress.
Alright, considering this fish person is currently friendly, would I be able to move through it?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
They
just-
seem to be staying there. They've got their spears at the ready.
But not at us, right?
Not at you. They're all still pointing at the hut.
Right.
Alright, so from there, I will shoot my longbow, which is at 23
That'll hit.
to hit. That's 7 damage.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, so let me just take a. Okay. And that'll bring us over to Lydia then.
Alright, I would like to use Secret Flame.
Actually, let me rephrase that because I just double checked something. As you watch the arrow sink in, Lydia, and you watch as it penetrates right into the shoulder, it seems to have no effect.
Of the shark dude.
Of the one that's still standing, yes.
The standing shark dude. Well, that's not good. You're gonna tell us that?
You're the one that saw it.
Oh no, I'm saying Furia, you saw that.
Oh, sorry, you said Lydia. I'm confused.
Yeah, because I was switching to Lydia, and I was like, wait a minute, I just realized what I wrote and what I was reading, and I was like, wait a minute, I said that wrong.
All right. So I'll say, well, that arrow didn't really work as well as I hoped.
Alright, maybe magic will work, and I'll try to use Sacred Flames. Sacred Flame. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a dex save.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a made save. That's a nat 20.
Bummer. I don't think it takes half. No.
I think Sacred Flame's save or sucks.
All or
So.
nothing. Yeah, okay. And then I'm going to go, cast... Should I cast Bless again? No, that'll be my turn.
Okay. So that brings us over to that creature. So it is going to, seeing that its cohort has fallen, it is going to
It's an angry cat.
try to
Yes.
get through this
She's very
thing.
chatty. Not angry, just
Okay.
chatty.
Oh,
So it is going to try to basically shove this thing out of the way to get what it came here for. So it is going to contest itself. Or, well, contest the other creature in there. So first we'll do the creature. Sharkman. Okay, so is it all of a sudden, those of you by the door watch as the shark comes charging forward and slams into this large amphibious creature and manages to knock it backwards into the wall. This whole wall down towards the south area just caves outward. As now all of you can see this small, slightly pulsing purple cylindrical object. As you're looking at it, there seem to be small, almost like outer rings on it that are slowly starting to turn. As I still cannot find a good token, so I am just going to use what I can find here. I'm going to say, you will serve the purpose. As this creature is now collapsed in. William, at this point, you would have line of sight on the shark, as it has literally just knocked this thing and knocked the wall down. So if you want to take a shot, you are more than welcome to. Discord go wonky, or I can't tell if Lyndon can hear me.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you for a sec.
Oh, okay. The shark just knocked the wall down, so you have line of sight if you want to take that shot.
I do.
Okay. And that'll hit, and you run into very similar to what Fury had just seen. As you watch as this crossbow bolt comes out and jabs into it, it doesn't seem to be affected by it right now. As it looks over at the couple of creatures in front of you and those of you around, and it looks down at its dying comrade, looks back up at the group of you. One hand reaches out and grabs the orb.
oh boy.
This is all we really came here for. But you, I've seen your faces now. Turns and starts to stick it in his robe and turns and jumps out into the water.
The shark man?
The shark man.
Did it say that in common?
In common.
Oh shit.
Okay. Can
Not-
we?
You can still see him.
Okay.
At the moment, it's literally picture, basically a cross between a shark and somebody doing the, what is it, the overhand, I can't remember what it's called, the overhand swim, where they're doing this on the surface.
Okay. Yeah.
Front crawl.
Breaststroke.
Breaststroke.
American crawl.
What?
I don't know. All I know is this one, that's the breaststroke.
Yeah.
It's the only
I
one I know.
thought that was the butterfly, but
No, the butterfly is this one. We use both of them.
Welcome to Fishy Bonus, where we discuss swimming names, swim style names.
Where's Michael Phelps? We need information.
I used to be a lifeguard. Oops.
So
Freestyle.
he dives in, and you notice that all of the fish that were in the water are now sort of turning almost as if to follow him. And that brings us to Bitter Jack, who just watched him dive into the water.
Okay. So,
Oh my god, it's Aquaman.
fun self-imposed mechanic that I feel really like is necessary based on the parameters of this character that I've set up. I feel like I need a roll to decide whether or not Jack understood what was shouted in common by these couple of her compatriots about this guy being unaffected by like standard attacks and needing to use magic.
Oh, okay.
Lydia's determined to learn the secret language now.
I guess we can probably flesh that out further later. I can just make like a odds and evens roll for now to see, like whether she knows that or not.
Sure.
I guess I'll say for evens she got the gist of it, and for odds she did not understand that she needs to use magical damage against this guy. Okay, that is a 2. I rolled a d6 for that. What did I say the rules were again?
You just said odds or evens roll to see what
odds
she
and
understands.
evens.
Evens.
A
Beaucoup,
D6,
She understood?
D6 should work.
beaucoup magique, s'il vous plaît.
It's not French, it's halfling. Stop it. I
The
forget what I
Furbolg is
said.
looking at you and speaking Elvish.
All right, I already forgot. So evens
I know
she
Elvish.
understands. Odds she doesn't.
Okay.
She rolls a 3. All right, so she steps up, I guess through the door. I don't know what kind of holes in the wall we have here. She'll need to
Basically,
hear.
everything from the southern portion of it is just gone at this point.
All right, well, she still steps through the door frame because let's not be barbarians about this. And she'll take 2 shots with her pistols.
Okay, fire away.
The main hand is a 16, and the offhand is a 3.
Okay. And again, you watch as... wait, you said the offhand was a 3?
The offhand is a 3.
Okay, so you watch the offhand just splashes into the liquid. Again, with main hand, you take the shot, and again, you watch it slam into the back, but it doesn't seem like it's acknowledging the hit.
Hang on a second.
Actually,
No, this weapon does not. The weapon does not count as magical.
okay.
I don't know if that even matters for this, but I thought
For player
my,
knowledge?
my fancy dude does not make this weapon a magical
Yeah, so
attack
mechanically,
at this level.
that's exactly what it is. But yeah, it just slams into it, and that's when I started looking, I'm going, wait a minute, because of that whole gunslinger. I don't know the gunslinger that well. So yeah, so it slams in again. You watch as you can see it make good impact. You watch as the hole appears in the back. You get it right next to the dorsal fin, but it still seems to just be swimming along as if nothing's wrong.
All right.
That'll bring us over to Snow Moon.
Well, he saw the ineffectiveness of the arrows that were fired at it, but he's gonna charge into the hut, and he's gonna do really the only thing he can do and use his breath weapon.
Oh, okay.
A DC 12 dex save.
Oh, okay. So as you went in there, and you can just see there's a massive. Basically, picture somebody like Mark Henry or a linebacker just running through a cardboard wall. And it just blew out the backside of this building. And that is is yours a line or a cone?
It's a line.
Okay. So and what's the DC on it?
12.
Okay. And that's a 3.
All right. Okay, so that's 8 acid damage.
Alrighty then. As you can hear that sort of sizzling, and Jack, it's a little strange as you're already used to seeing all the acid that's in this area anyway, and now there's just a slightly brighter shade of green in this one little line. So you can see it sort of sizzling. A couple of the holes where some of the arrows and bolts and your shots have hit it are sizzling a little bit more, and you can hear what sounds like some sort of a almost guttural cry coming out of the mouth of this thing. Anything else you'd be doing?
No, that's pretty much all he can do. So.
Oh, okay.
I'll just turn there.
So that brings us to all of its little friends, and I completely forgot about the other ones going right after. I'll flip that because I just want to help the other one. So that brings us to these ones. I'm going to make one roll here to see about you. Okay. So the majority of these things start swimming south. No, do not. See as they all start just swimming down this way, following where the shark looks to be heading. And then there is one small group of them that are just to the north of you, Snow Moon. That as they start to, and you watch as this swarm of creatures comes leaping out of the water, trying to grab at just your foot and anything it can sort of grab on its way past. As it is flying through. And yeah, I don't think that's going to cut it. That is a 9.
No, that is not going to do it.
So is it just sort of flies by, tries to jump up and grab at your toes and feet and just can't get it, and just lands back down in the water underneath you and continues to start swimming away. Trying to get their one bite as they went by and failed miserably.
Yeah, he just kind of shrugs it off.
Okay, and there go. Then that'll bring us back to the top with Artemis.
Okay. So what is that big green guy? Is that one of the...
So no, that's basically that's that amphibious-looking creature that got knocked through the wall. That seems to be the friendly one.
Oh, okay.
As you can see, the couple of the creatures that have been standing around have helped it back up to its feet and sort of given it like a once-over, making sure it's as okay as it can be.
Let's see here. So I've seen what was it, Bitter Jack let off a shot at that shark that was kind of...
From where you are, you wouldn't have really seen anything because you're outside and that section of the building hasn't been caved in.
Okay.
So you've heard, you've heard the shots go off from Bitter Jack. You saw Snow Moon go charging in.
I guess I would have just
You heard Furious say that it didn't seem like arrows were doing much.
I guess at this point I would just move to try and get a better line of sight of stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's easy enough. You can either go up to the, we'll call it the shoreline on the outside, or go into what remains of the hut. And yeah, you can see that all of those fish and sharks that were pointed out by Lydia earlier are all starting to head in the same direction that shark-human hybrid is heading.
Okay. I don't think Artemis is going to let off a shot. They're pretty nervous about drawing attention to themselves at this point.
Okay. And as you are watching it, that'll bring us over to Sweet William.
Okay. So there's that shark man who's getting away, right?
Yep, he's currently down, seems to be swimming in that direction. I can see a couple of sharks, and you'd also know from the Furious comment in your shot, it doesn't seem like most of what you guys are doing to her is really having any effect.
Okay. I'm gonna run around the back of this building. I'm gonna end up right here, and I'm gonna try and throw a net
On the shark guy? Okay.
on the shark guy.
Okay, so as you come running up and just toss the net out, it seems to sort of hit the liquid and just sort of, it looks like you just missed.
Not for lack of trying, Nell. Sorry. And I'll stay here.
Okay, so that'll bring us over to this guy. Well, let me see, where did my actual character sheet for him go? See if he's got anything that might be helpful here. This... He's got left. Just a second. Okay, yeah, so he's looking down his wounds. He's just going to look around, and again, you hear that same sort of sound, that sort of liquidy noise as he's talking to the small group. And then you watch as a couple of them look like they're going to start running back to the huts to try to get something. That brings us over to Furia.
All right. I am going to run, dodging all these fish people. All the way over here, and I'm going to cast web on this shark person. And I would like to, I'm not sure how to, but just one square north of him.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would like to start, and then it would, like from there, it's a 20-foot cube.
And what is the saving throw he makes for web?
It's a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, okay, let's see here.
Has to be to 13.
Okay, let's see. Dex. And that's a 15.
Alright, so the web is still there. Each creature that starts its turn in the webs, or that enters them during its turn, must make the throw.
Okay. That's going to be
On fail save, they are restrained.
Yeah, so let me make it for the other two as well right now, just so we don't forget to. Okay. So the swarm makes it. The shark does not. The actual shark does not.
Alright, and seeing that didn't work out immediately, I'm going to run my last 10 feet and bonus action brown bear.
Okay.
I guess it'd be a little bit squishy, but...
So, and where you said you're running your last 10 feet to... Oh, there you are. Never mind.
Yeah, I'd be running up there.
Okay.
And doing my best to look intimidating to this shark person.
Okay. So you've done that, and that'll bring us over to Lydia. And I think Lydia is muted. Or Discord's acting up.
Nope, my cat was making more noise. Well, I moved. Muted myself, I moved down here. And then I'm going to cast... Spiritual weapon isn't a magic weapon, right? It's just a bludgeoning weapon. I'm not sure.
Do what now?
Does do magical damage though, because it's
A spiritual
like a
weapon?
spell.
Yeah.
That would count as magical damage.
Okay. I'm going to bonus action spiritual weapon.
Oh, okay. So
And
go ahead and
then,
make an attack roll, because you can attack with it the minute you summon it.
Yep. Oh yeah. 16 plus 5, 21.
Okay. That's definitely going to hit, so go ahead and roll some damage for us.
7.
Okay. This time you actually hear this creature shout out in surprise.
Oh, okay. Good. And I think that's all I can do. Cause I can repeat the attack as bonus action, so that's what. Okay. All right, that's it.
Okay. So that's going to bring us back to him, who has to make another saving throw because he starts in the web.
Yee.
And that's a natural 19, so
Ah.
he is good. So, and actually, I think Furia and Sweet William are both right next to this creature. So it is going to start swimming off rapidly. So both of you would be able to take attacks of opportunity if you want to.
The web is difficult terrain.
Oh, okay.
Does my hammer get an
Just-
attack of opportunity?
I don't believe so. It's not a
Okay,
creature.
just making sure.
So it takes
looks like-
double movement for your difficult terrain on that, right?
Yeah. Just general difficult terrain.
Yeah, okay.
And it's showing that it's unaffected by our weapons.
Yeah,
right?
you haven't seen anything that you guys have been doing really hasn't seemed to have any effect on it, short of the couple of magical effects that people have done to it.
Okay. I'm gonna try and restrain it with a net one more time.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so the net does hit.
Nice.
Let me take a look here and see what is involved with a net. It's been a long time since I've used one. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so it needs to make a it needs to use its action to make a strength check, so. Okay. And Fury, did you say you were doing anything? This was happening?
Yeah, I would reach out with a claw and try to slash it.
Okay, so go ahead and make your attack with that. As it is going to try to make its strength saving throw as it is now restrained.
I got a 21.
That'll hit, so go ahead and roll damage. Okay, and that is... what's its
11
modifier?
points
Okay.
of slashing damage.
At this point, are your... I don't know if druids...
No.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay. So as once again, you sort of carve into it, even through the net. And you can watch as... You can see the claw marks rake into its back, but it doesn't seem to really take any effect to it. And he did roll a 12 to break out of the net. It's a DC 10, so he...
Is the... Okay, sorry. Never mind.
Nope,
Web, not... Net, not web.
Yeah, so he made the save to get out to avoid getting restrained by the web. He then got netted by Sweet William, had to make a strength save to get out, which he made the save, but that burned his action, so he cannot dash like he had planned to.
Haha.
So let's see here. I got to as a Q, yeah, but he can still go 40 feet swim speed. So as he takes off swimming, all of you notice he is swimming towards what looks to be another very similar to that initial pit that dropped you out of the esophagus into the stomach.
We'll never find him if he gets down there.
It looks like he is heading out, taking a different road to get out of here.
Oh.
And that brings us over to these guys who are all basically ignoring what's going on around and are just sort of circled up and helping this creature up and trying to sort of bandage some of its wounds. They seem to be ignoring all of you completely. And that'll bring us over to Bitter Jack.
Alrighty. So... Ooh. Here's the thing, folks. What are the light sources in this immediate area here?
The boat. So
I can't see him.
That is actually... at this point, he is out of visibility.
Jack
Those
will
of you with dark vision can still see him, but that's it.
Yeah,
Bears
Jack
don't
will
have dark
move,
vision.
Yeah, well, back when you attacked him, he was right up next to you guys. The boat's only like 20 feet away. So it would have been hazy, but you guys could still see him at that point. At this point, the only ones who can see him are going to be Artemis.
Yeah, so Jack will run right up to sort of like the edge of the light where it starts to get murky here.
So let's see.
And-
so from the
I'll
boat.
make an
Yeah.
I'll make an attack with disadvantage here. She's just gonna sort of try and listen to the splooshing of him swimming away.
Oh, okay.
And she levels the other pistol, the offhand, the right-hand pistol. And she says, "Ni mine, your turn." And I'm gonna fire off another Eldritch Blast.
Oh, okay.
16, and the lower of the two is a... Still pretty good. What's my to hit on Eldritch Blast? 15 to hit.
That'll do it.
Oh. Okay. So that's gonna be 8 points of force damage. with
Okay.
Eldritch Blast.
So again, you hear that same sort of muddled. Again, it's getting a little harder to hear as it's getting further away. But you hear that same sort of muttered cursing and just general surprise.
As she doesn't hear the sound of a shark being killed to death, she like sort of curses, like stomps a foot, and she just like shouts out into the darkness, just, "Remember my face, bastard!" Sticks the gun back in her holster.
Yeah, that'll bring us over to Snow Moon then. As you can hear Jack shouting out into the dark, well, in the darkness.
Yeah, I don't see. He doesn't see this shark any longer. Are these like the actual shark and the like piranhas? Are they reacting at all? with this shark?
They're swimming that same direction.
Okay. I guess he will run to where that like school of piranha is now.
Oh,
And I
okay.
guess for lack of any real better option, he'll just kind of start swinging his sword into the water, just trying to take down any of them,
Oh, okay.
if he even can.
So go ahead and make your attack roll.
Nat 20.
That'll do it. Go ahead and
Kill the crap out of that ocean.
Carve into that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
stomach.
Water's AC was 21. You missed.
That'll be 11 slashing damage.
Alrighty then, as you carve through, and where this is happening, right near where Bitter Jack, all of a sudden you hear these loud foot stomps come charge up behind you, and whoosh, and now there's just all these bodies of these little fish starting to float up next to you. The swarm is still there, but does look like you managed to kill a decent number of them.
He just lets out a shrug, and that's like a grunt, and that'll be his turn.
Okay. Then you watch as the rest of these fish and sharks continue swimming their way down and literally just start diving into this opening. Those last swarm is taken off from beside you two. So both you and Jack would be able to take an attack of opportunity if you wanted to.
Do I make it with disadvantage if my gun,
I'll say no for this one because you're pulling it out to fire as it's leaving your range.
Probably not gonna matter. I rolled a 6 plus, so an 11 total.
Not on that one, unfortunately.
He rolled an 18.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. 9.
Okay, so once again, as they take off soon, you manage to kill about 3 or 4 more of them. And then you watch as they all just sort of disappear and swirl into that opening and vanish. And that brings us to Artemis, the only one who can still see this creature out in the distance.
Now that I can still see him and I've confirmed that people are still trying to go after it, yeah, I'll let off, I guess, magic missile. It's the only thing I can really hit him at this range.
Oh, okay. As you fire off, it's definitely going to hit, so go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. 15.
Okay. Again, you hear that
All
same
fours.
mouthing off and just.
Oh, wow. Can we see where it hit? Roughly?
So from where those of you without dark vision, you're basically from where the boat is and the lights being lit, you lose visibility right around here. So that even with those firing off, you see these little sparks of light that sort of look like those spiraled shells, and then they just sort of vanish into the darkness, and then you hear cursing. And so you'd have a couple of seconds of light that, you might see it, sort of like picture lighting a match and dropping it. If it manages to stay lit, you might see the ground for a second, but the minute it hits the ground, it goes out.
Right.
So it doesn't give you anything really useful.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to jump through so that they're not really doing anything. He's trying to take care of himself. Sweet William, Furia, and Lydia. I'm lumping the 3 of you together because all 3 of you are basically right in row, but none of you have dark vision. Is there anything you would be doing?
Yes.
Okay, Sweet William, what about you?
Only thing I can do is to shoot blindly with my hand crossbow. That's
And I
it.
would be moving farther down south.
Oh, okay. So, Sweet William, you want to take the blind shot?
Yeah, I'm gonna move in the same direction with Furia,
Okay.
and then shoot. Yeah, with my hand crossbow with any.
Okay. And so you just hear the splash as it hits the water. And then Fury was moving south as a bear.
Yep.
And then Lydia, what would you be doing?
I'd be climbing out into the water about there.
Oh, okay. So as you go out into the water,
Yeah,
you are just surrounded in darkness.
that's fine. Yeah.
You do sort of feel not so
Oops,
much
I
a
didn't mean-
current,
Oh, sorry.
but you feel like the you can feel the pull, like water is starting to flow, almost like water going down a drain.
I want to cast Calm Emotions in this area.
Okay. Let's see here.
20-foot radius.
Yep, let's see here. Okay, and what are you attempting to do with the spell?
Calm the emotions of the shark man so he doesn't feel a need to escape so fast.
Okay, so let's see here.
Make him
Needs to
more
make
non-aggressive. Not so aggressive in nature. Pacify him a little.
Actually,
Would I count
let's
as a
see here.
humanoid?
Don't know.
Point you.
They get, like,
Okay,
blinked
not technically you're a
1,000
bear, but
times.
Because I'm sort of part, because I'm a self, but also a bear.
Oh, you can't be. You can't be charmed though.
I also can't be charmed.
That's true.
and it's,
No, I have saving throws against, or I have advantage on saving throws against
Oh,
being
okay.
charmed.
Eligible bear bachelors across the land. Lamenting. Uncharmable.
Let's see here. So it has to make a charisma save.
Yes.
Okay, well, it's not great at charisma. It's not horrible, but... Get rid of you. Okay. Let's see, and what's your DC?
13.
Okay. So that is a fail.
Ooh.
So you
Okay,
definitely
yeah.
hear that the swimming is not as frantic.
Okay. Yes.
Anything else you'd be doing after casting that?
No. That's exciting.
Okay.
Go. Oh, I'll be yelling, guys. It's not as scared as it was before or frantic. You might want to come up here a little and I don't know.
We need to fix the light problem. Anybody got a light?
Uh,
You just hear
Like, yes, you
grunting from a bear, but
We can't cast a cantrip and a spell. Or is it
As
a
you're
bonus
calling
action?
this out,
Yeah.
Lydia from behind you here. I was never scared of you people. I just got to get this back to the boss.
Oh.
I got a task to do.
Who's the boss? Who's your boss?
My boss goes by Dulak Kumar.
Can't anyone have a normal goddamn name in this campaign? Can't spell any of this. There's 400 consonants in this name.
Bakumat. And what does this orb do for chance? If you
Kumat.
don't mind.
I suppose before I leave I can give you that much.
Alright.
This is one piece of a device that will allow us to bring someone here from back home.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you for your time.
And as with that, as you
Oh my
watch,
gosh.
as he had been looking at you, just sort of leans back into the liquid and sort of back floats away. Well, you can't see him; it's in darkness.
Yeah.
But he just sort of rolls over, floats back, and then vanishes down into the opening.
Oh, okay.
And with that, we are out of initiative.
Okay.
And that's where we'll call an end to tonight's session. As our strange half-human, half-shark hybrid has just swam down the stomach sphincter into the
Yes.
intestines of this
Looking forward to
creature.
this.
Confirmed. Left shark, main villain.
Yeah.
What's worse is I rolled for because this was so ridiculously one-sided. I rolled percentage for how much life each shark had lost during the battle with the other creature. The one on the north that Jack went after first had 2 hit points left.
Oh my god.
The other one had lost 4 hit points.
Oh my god.
It's like-
Okay. So it would have taken quite a while.
It's it was like, oh my word, come on, I set this up specifically because this thing could have injured them. But nope, apparently the dice said, no, I only want to kill this, I want that one to survive. So, thank you very much for those you who hung out with us. We will be back next week to see what happens, as currently one of our party is suspended again within the gastrointestinal juices of this massive creature. The rest of our party, for the most part, is standing just at the edge of their sight or in complete darkness, with our gnome standing back next to this large amphibious creature that some of us recognize to be a marrow.
Nat 20?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, and unfortunately, Furia didn't get to use hers tonight.
Yep.
So we will be voting on a new Nat 20, as that one is going to disappear. If there's anyone still left in chat that wants to throw out a vote, what about our players? Anyone?
I have an honorable mention, and I have a legitimate vote.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
My honorable mention is Lydia. Because the combination of calm emotions, getting told to piss off by the thing she calm emotioned, and then saying, thank you for your time, has 100% confirmed in my mind that Lydia's a Jehovah. My legit vote for the Nat 20 is for Artemis, because I feel like if you almost get killed by a gelatinous cube, you should get a Nat 20 next session
This is
as a
true.
consolation.
Yeah, I
prize.
was gonna say Artemis
That
for
was
having to
intense.
stave off death
For
so soon
surviving
already.
that, yeah.
I was gonna say better Jack because that story drop, and also thank you for shooting into said cube.
Well, when Matthew inevitably disintegrates me,
Yeah.
you guys can give me the Nat 20 the next session.
Okay,
Like,
fair
we
enough,
were like
fair
to be digested by acid, but
So we will shift that over to Artemis for next time.
Okay.
And don't forget, folks, when you're on a boat in the middle of someone's stomach and you're watching your gnome slowly be digested, reach in, grab hold of your gnome, and when you pull out, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. We'll see you next time, folks.
That's an interesting way to say it.
Ugh.